Yeah, Kai is actually the newest member of our band. Most of the people I've been working with have some sort of history with me. Christian, the bass player, he is from Hamburg. He was in my last band. I've known him for 3 years. He's an amazing bass player, really good singer also. And then Michael Johnson, who's my drummer, who unfortunately couldn't make it to this show, but is my normal drummer, was also in Natural with me back in the days. But he's gone on to play with other bands like Dave Navarro and bands like that, and he still plays with a lot of big bands in LA. He's also in the band. And Benny Richter, who also co-wrote this album with me and kind of took this long journey over the past 3 years to discover the new me, I guess, in a way, or discover what I think is the most me in music that I've ever been. He's just a really good friend of mine, and he's the keyboard player. And then Kai, we were looking for this album, what was important was an aggressive guitar player, a very aggressive, a very talented, someone who can, play the hell out of a guitar solo, play some slow songs, but just be, just a powerhouse on guitar and look cool doing it, which I think is always tough to find. And we found Kai. We're very, very lucky to find Kai through Christian, actually, the bass player. He's played with him in some other bands, and he came along, and thank God for Kai.
Thank you, man.
Yes. And then me. I've known myself pretty much for all my life, so I decided to invite myself for this band also. I think being a solo artist is definitely a lot of fun, and my last album was about being a solo artist and kind of saying my story. But being in a band, there's so many more elements that play a part. For instance, Benny, comes from the metal scene. He's very much into the metalcore music. He's produced for the Caliban. He's produced for Amiables, a lot of metal bands. And he took me to my first metal concert, I guess, like a couple years ago, where I saw Caliban play. It's like 6,000 people. It was amazing. And I didn't listen to that music before. And then I started listening to the music a little bit more, and I started really kind of finding that it's really interesting, that kind of music, and it's very technically good. So there's a lot of like influence from Benny's side in this album, from the things that Benny have done in this album. If you listen to some of the tracks in here sound like Linkin Park, and it's a lot harder of an album, and it's because of all the people who are around me. Not just me. I would have never written an album like this by myself. So that's why I thought the whole band thing, and not using Mark Terenzi but Terenzi, because the band plays such a significant role in this album. So that's why we came up with the idea for Terenzi. And being in a band is cool, because I get to be the voice of kind of 5 people, as opposed to just everything being about me.
Ich glaube vor allen Dingen der Unterschied von einer Band zum Solokünstler ist einfach auch da drin, dass in einer Band das wichtig ist, dass jeder seinen Stil halt mitbringt so irgendwie und sich das dadurch bedingt halt irgendwie zu einer neuen Sache kreiert. Also ich spiele halt auch viel für Solokünstler zum Beispiel, und da ist es dann, da kriegst du Sachen vorgesetzt, die musst du dann 1:1 zum Beispiel übernehmen. Das ist was ganz anderes so irgendwie. Und in einer Band ist halt so jeder für jeden halt irgendwie am Start, so da lässt man dann halt auch nichts dran so irgendwie, sondern man ist halt eine Crew.
Yeah, I feel like the grandpa of the band, and these are my little boys. Yeah.
Where's
No,
Molly?
I guess the dad of the band, and the fact that a lot of the things that are going on are I manage myself. So a lot of the things that are going on, I guess, are decided mainly by me, I guess, in a way. So the dad of the family is in being in the music industry and doing this, for years, in that aspect, sure. But I think in this band, it's different because everybody's so talented in what they do, that it's not like I have to go to Kai and be like, all right, listen, about the guitar, you got to do this, and your tone, maybe work on this. They're all like really incredibly good at what they do, so I don't have to be a dad in this band, which is cool. I can really focus on the things that I really need to do, which is performing and being a singer and finding my way. My interpretation of the song is, to be honest with you, I just like Michael Jackson, and he's the greatest performer that's ever lived. And we heard Billie Jean at the photo shoot we were doing. We heard the song just kind of on the radio, and I sat down with a guitar, and we came up with the idea of trying the song kind of in a different way. We've heard a lot of different types of cover versions of Michael Jackson songs. There's so many out there. There's thousands of different ways. This is just kind of our way of doing it, and we're not trying to be better than Michael Jackson, because no one is, but we're just doing it differently. And we didn't plan on putting the song on the album at first at all. We just kind of did it for fun. And in my opinion, I think it turned out to be a really good song to lead into the album, because it's different than the original version. And I think it shows directly how I've changed over the past, couple of years, to how we've changed the song from the original version. There's so many different versions of all the guitar songs out there, and all of those have influenced everything that we're doing. And of course, Chris Cornell. is a god. So
So,
the Dome, I think I live here pretty much.
just moved in.
Yeah, I think the Dome I love the Dome shows, to be honest with you. I mean, we started coming here 7 years ago, I think. You know, I mean, that's a long time ago. A long history we have with the Dome. I think we started at Dome 1.
Really?
No, I don't even know what the first Dome we were at. I think 20 or something. No, even less than that. It was like, who knows? But it's been a long time that we've been coming to the Domes, and it's funny because in the beginning we were thrown in, you know, in whatever dressing room was available before anybody knew Natural, and we were promoting Put Your Arms Around Me, and I look at those videos now, even I have them still, and I think, God, what were we thinking back then? Like, what was I wearing, you know, back then? And it's funny to watch how we've developed over the years. You can just watch the Dome videos, just watch our performances from the Dome videos, and you'll see how I've grown over the years. It's kind of cool that I've kind of grown accustomed to the Domes, and now we actually have our own dressing room now. I think we finally worked our way to having our own dressing room. But I think the Dome's special because there's so many different artists in one place, and that's something that you don't really find in America unless you're at the MTV Video Music Awards or something like that. So I think the audiences are always awesome. Paul Potts, man. I saw that video and I cried. I gotta be honest with you, that was incredible. I think he's an incredible person. Because if anybody watched that thing, I bet you they cried. I don't care. So I actually look forward to meeting him.
Ich glaube, für mich Stephanie Heinzmann, großartige Sängerin. Sehr gespannt.
I think she's my little sister, so you know it's really interesting to see like her now, because I knew her when she was really tiny, you know, when she was really just a small little kid. Now she's a beautiful, you know, blonde, beautiful grown-up woman with an amazing voice. It's just so weird for me to see that, you know, and I think she has a lot. She definitely has a lot to learn, and I think a place like the Dome is a perfect place. It's a great learning experience. I think she's going to be very nervous tomorrow, so I hope she's going to be all right. But I think she's really talented. I think she has a lot. She should go out there with confidence and just be, you know, excited about the things that she's doing, because she is good. She has to realize that she is, you know, good. She looks good, and I think this is going to be a tough show for her. I mean, because the audiences here are amazing. The whole show is so huge. There's so many big artists here. The fans are ridiculous. So getting on the stage, I think, can be a little intimidating. But I have faith in her. I think she's going to be good. The biggest advice, which I think a lot of people forget in the beginning of music, and I forgot in the beginning of music, when I was touring with Natural, we were just trying to get through the tours and trying to get there, and we were stressed out and nervous and everything. Have fun. This is what we do it for.